First, the top headlines. Chief Minister N. Biren lays foundation stone of luxury 5-star hotel at Kabul-e-Kai. "13 drug abusers held from North AOC. And Chinese Defense Minister Li Shangfu to visit India for SOC Defense Ministers meeting. Warm greetings and welcome to ELITETV News. I'm your news anchor Ishika Rajkumari, presenting you the 12:30 p.m. English news. And before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly, and maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV also requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play your part in the fight against COVID-19. Now let's begin with the news in details. As part of Hotel Classic of Hotel, a foundation stone of luxury 5-star hotel was laid at Kabul-e-Kai today. During the occasion held at Sangai Hall of Hotel Imphal, Chief Minister and Biren Mahut Minister Yumnam Khemchan, ministers, MLAs, officials of Babina Group attended among others. Speaking at the occasion, Chief Minister and Biren asserted that Manipur has a lot of loopholes to be developed. In a few years, various changes and development have been witnessed in the state. Comparing to earlier generation, he further stated that the youths of this generation support to the certainty and reality. Besides, he lauded Classic Group of Hotels for the initiatives and providing shelter to the contestants of Femina Miss India.
Classic Group ki mayam sigi hospitality aduga moigi lady service se aduki mati ekoi thagani adu mayam sing ai dumangne hek lakpa sing se Japanese ambassador la after a long gap Zaika gi la me after a long gap mayam la eba lakpa sing se yam ai roi ne do ai ne roi ai hangi no stay kamai do we kai do we
Meanwhile, Managing Director of Babina Group, Dr. T.H. Doubly, assured that the luxury 5-star hotel will be completed by 2025 before the Sangai Festival and delineate the facilities which will be provided by the hotel.
The Classic Group of Hotels met an analysis during the pre-COVID time, where the rooms that we have in our hotels having 7,000 plus per night, we met an analysis that showed that the occupancy rate was quite low. The maximum was 17.19 in Hotel Imphal, and the minimum was in the old classic hotel, that's 9.3. Average is around 14%, that is less than 15%. That's the indication that the viability of 5-star hotel was questionable at that time, because we need at least 40% occupancy of the rooms to make it viable. But we have seen change in the recent past, that is especially in the post-COVID times. There is sudden increase of inflow of tourists and then other business travelers to the state. So the occupancy rate has gone up to around 30%. And as I said, we need 40% occupancy for the viability. So it's very close to 40%, and I think it should be viable in coming 2 to 3 years.
Imphal West District Police picked up 13 drug abusers from North AOC area. According to the police, they will be handed over to different rehabilitation centers. Manipur observed the Khongjom Day and paid befitting tributes to the heroes of Khongjom War, Anglo-Manipur War. The main event was held at Kebaching at Khongjom in Thoubal district. The observation began with laying of wreaths led by Governor Anushya Uike and Chief Minister N. Biren at the Khongjom War Memorial. Following a guard of honor, general salute, reverse arms, sounding of last post, 2-minute silence, slope arms and order arms, floral wreaths were also led at the statue of Pauna Brajavasi with guard of honor and gun salute. Speaking as the chief guest of the function, Governor Anushya Uike said, "Today is a day of remembering the heroes of Manipur and paying homage to those patriots who laid down their lives fighting against the British in 1891 is a fitting moment. While observing this day, we need to remember that foreign powers become active only when there are internal conflicts," the governor said. She asserted that the Khongjom War is the most important event in the history of Manipur. There are many unknown heroes who fought against foreign forces like the British in villages, mountains, places like Manipur and awakened the spirit of freedom in the people, she said, adding that we need to remember them also. She said the sacrifices of Manipur's heroes like Manipur Major Pauna Brajabasi, Major Chongthamia Chinglen Sana, Major Kumbong, Major Loitongba, and many more are important, and there is a need to remember them. It is the responsibility of the youth to maintain and protect the dignity, freedom and sovereignty of the country, she said, highlighting that independence should not be interpreted in the narrow sense of separatism and regionalism. Any threat or challenge, whether external or internal, must be faced unitedly and courageously, she added. Meanwhile, Chief Minister N. Biren, delivering his presidential speech, said that today we are remembering those who had sacrificed their lives 132 years ago in 1891 for their motherland. We all know why and how the Khongjom War was fought. Despite knowing the disadvantages of being ill-equipped and outnumbered, our brave forefathers fought the British, Biren said. Today, what is important is the question whether today's generation is able to safeguard, preserve the freedom and independence given to us by our brave forefathers, the Chief Minister said. The Chief Minister recounted a brief account of the war and recalled how Pukhambang Kajau killed Mr. Grimwood, the then political agent of Manipur, with his spear. The merger of Manipur with India in 1949 was reportedly clearly in the New York Times. The same report said that the geographical area of Manipur at that time was 18,000 square miles and it had a total population of around 5.12 lakh, Biren said. The same report or record is also available at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Manipur is the state which has so many such visible historical records and evidence, he said. Other highlights of the observance included Khongjom Parva recitals, musical play Maharaja Kula Chandra Dhaja Singh, and Anglo-Manipur War 1891 by Department of Arts and Culture, and National Anthem by MR Band Unit, among others. The observance was also attended by Rajya Sabha member Lesemba Sanajauba, the Chief Secretary and the DGP, among others.
इस तरह का शहीद दिवस यहाँ पर आयोजन होता है और ये जब ये अभी फिलहाल ये जो यहाँ का सभा जो जहाँ बैठे हैं वो अभी टेम्परेरी है। अगर इसको एक परमानेंट रूप दे दिया जाए तो निश्चित रूप से यहाँ आने वाले समय में और भी कल्चर प्रोग्राम और भी बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ इकट्ठे होंगे और हमारे भूतपूर्व जो सैनिक स्वतंत्रता सेनानी रहे हैं उनकी याद में यहाँ पूरे साल भर भी कभी न कभी ये कार्यक्रम होता रहे। तो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, मैं आपको धन्यवाद देती हूँ कि आपने कहा कि हाँ ये आने वाले समय में हम इसको पूरा परमानेंट और बड़ा मजबूत सेट बनवा देंगे ताकि यहाँ पर प्रोग्राम हो। आपने मुझे यहाँ आमंत्रित किया, इसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ठगत जरी, जय हिंद।
प्रजा में आमना ब्रिटिश की मखादा मिखा पोन लेरकांदा अइना लेबातुदा निंथौ thado e hadna kamaina hallaga ina leiru duino aduna ai laibak tu na ningkha tamdri phabai gi prajana ningkha tamdri phabai laibak tu da hallaroi haiduna brindaban da chatlaga mapunsi long gi badu mani thongne these are a few things ekhoina kaw oi daba ngasi gi mirona tumgi mirona ngasai ina han da hai khiba makoina laibak sidi ningkha tambasi nga aga thambirame sahi tare khuntak podagi hawrakanda awaga thenadana a ningthi turel tana thang samdana yeknaba awa tan thokdana ningkha tambadi thambirame ngasi madugi posak tu ngasi gi mirol laik lasu haire haire bai khoi scientific ki jugni haire bai khoi electronic ki jugni haire bai khoi IS IPS ne yomaba MCS ne yomaba ai khoi na madugi saktam do ganba ngami bra ngamda brai se ai khoi khuding mane khoi khandaba matok dai.
Please stay tuned, viewers. We'll be right back after a short break.
Welcome you all to UNACO School Channel Imphal East, an exclusive co-educational residential school located on a sprawling 50 acres campus just 24 km away from Imphal city. The school will be affiliated to CBSE New Delhi. Academic session will begin on 1st April 2023 for classes 4 to 8. Registration commencement open for 2023 and 24 session.
The legendary brand Vespa was born in 1946. The Vespa has a unique design with a V-shaped grille to complement its sleek cast. The Piaggio emblem at the front gives you the pride of ownership, innovative appearance. The design was inspired by the wasp, hence the name Vespa.
Adom gari macha darkar oibibra? Supnagi minute kuntragi manungda document ichang changdana Vespa amadi Aprilia gi apamba model sing supna dagi lupa lising tara khaktang puthok piduna loan oina lawba yabagi khudong chaba pizare. Akupa marol kidamak contact tawbirau 9089895330 amadi 9615823252 Tulasi Motors Private Limited Thangmaiban amadi Sangai Pro Kudong Chaba si Mangan Bigano ngasi mag-contact tawbirau terms and condition apply.
The pinnacles of success. Get enrolled to one of the finest schools in Northeast India, UNACO School, Excellence in Education.
Welcome back after the break, and you're watching ELITETV English News. Now let's continue with the news again. The Corcom has categorically stated that the Khongjong War was not a war fought to defend the independence, but it was a war fought to protect the sovereignty of Manipur. A statement issued by the proscribed outfit, Corcom Publicity Committee, said that the Khongjong War was fought knowing well that there was no chance for Manipur, but the war inspires the present generation to live with freedom. The supreme sacrifices made by the heroes and martyrs of the Anglo-Manipur War taught a very valuable lesson to the present generation that one moment of freedom is more meaningful than 100 years of bondage, it said. After the British invaders took over the palace of Manipur on April 27, 1891, British rule of suppression began in Manipur or Kanglei Park with Maxwell as the chief political officer. The repressive regime of the British rulers gave rise to the first Nupilal of 1904, the Jadonang movement post-1921, the Irabot movement post-1935, and the second Nupilal of 1939. Soon after India's annexation of Manipur in 1949, Irabot launched an armed liberation movement. The same movement has been continuing till date, with many paying with their lives against the repressive regime itself. Manipur, Kangleipak has not yet achieved independence. Taking advantage of the many black laws, Indian military forces have detained, raped and killed a large number of people, it alleged. This grim situation will persist in the coming years too, while the territory of Manipur has been growing smaller and smaller. Not satisfied with the divide and rule game, a process of balkanization of Manipur is being pursued actively. With the government of Manipur transplanting their surplus population in Manipur, Kangleipak, the state is being overwhelmed by non-local people, the Korkom said. There is little difference between the war fought in the 19th century and the ongoing war. The first one was against white Sahibs, while the latter is against Indian Sahibs, it alleged. It was this unity which brought about the 7 years devastation, and again the Khongjom War, it continued. In order to avoid such catastrophic events, we need to be united, the Korkom asserted. We are still living a wretched life of slavery. We need to struggle collectively as one if we must free ourselves from this bondage, it said. One very important message of Khongjom Day is unite and be united, it added. Chinese Defense Minister Li Shangfu will visit India to take part in the Shanghai Operation Organization Defense Ministers meeting to be held on April 27 and 28. This will be the first time that a Chinese defense minister will be in India following the Galwan Valley clash between the two countries in June 2020. India has also sent an invite to Pakistan for its defense ministers' participation in the meeting. However, Islamabad is yet to confirm their participation. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitetv.in or 9402890982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. Now let's go through the headlines once again. Chief Minister M. Biren lays foundation stone of luxury 5-star hotel at Cabo Laikai. "13 drug abusers held from Note AOC. And Chinese Defense Minister Li Shangfu to visit India for SCO Defense Ministers meeting. And that's all for today's 12:30 p.m. English News, and thank you for watching ELITETV. We'll be back with more news and updates at 3, so stay tuned, and finally signing off.